Hello, everyone. Also, actually, before I jumped into Factorio today, I had a thought. Well, two thoughts. Actually, one, why am I checking the belt? I could do this in a much better way. But two, actually, let me have a quick look. How bad is the spores here? The spores are pretty bad, actually. You know what, then? I'm going to say... no, none on the belt is pretty bad. Sure, I'll do that one. If there's less than 10 in there. If there's less than 10 available, then you activate. Let's let the let those spores go down a little bit, hopefully. My gun turrets are probably not sufficient down here, but we'll leave that for now. I had some thoughts about over here. However, my big thoughts were Novis and the trains. I want to... Oh, God damn it. I want to check a potential interrupt that I'm using down here. So, trains. Specifically with regards to fuel. Refueling interrupt. Okay. What I want is to check the fuels. So, I want to check if these are less than... If these fuels are less than, let's say, 2. No. Less than or equal to 1 is fine. And... fuel any locomotive is... See, this is the problem. I wish there was a way of checking for any quality in here. It's a shame that we don't have that. It is a dire shame that we do not have that. Oh, wait, I can do this another way around. Oh, yes, I can. Right, let's see. If the current fuel parameter is less than or equal to 1. Oh, does this check the fuel as well? Oh. That's unfortunate. The fact that quality is sometimes such a pain in the bum. I'm going to be honest with you. All set constant. Do I need to set that? I might not need to. Let's see if this works. So if the fuel on the train is less than 1, or regular fuel is and rather, this should be down here. No. I guess this is fine. Is greater than 1 or equal to. But this is less than... Let's say less than 2. So if any fuel on this train is less than 2, and it has any nuclear fuel at all, I could just say this is greater than 0. That's another way of putting this. That would be fine. I mean, less than or equal to 1 is exactly the same as greater than 0. But effectively, I want these to be ores then, in that case. Quality makes this very difficult to create an interrupt for. So, effectively, What this does right now, this is refuel nuclear. And what I was hoping is I could make an interrupt that would check any of the fuel types. But what this is currently doing is it's checking if there is any fuel, whatever the fuel parameter is, if that is less than 2, and any of the nuclear fuels are above 1, then it will... so it has nuclear fuel on the train, so I know that this is a nuclear fuel-powered train. This is what these do. But it has to be and ors. So all of these have to be ors, and then... like this whole block would be a part of the same thing. It is quite the shame. This is currently not set though. Now it is set. I'm wondering if normal quality being there, or any of those being the case, mean that quality is not being considered. Oh, I see what's happening. It's because that is normal quality over on that side. Right. That makes a lot more sense. It's just such a shame that this doesn't exist. Right now, it's looking for if any of the fuel in the train is less than 2 and it has nuclear fuel, then go and refuel. Now, what I was kind of hoping for is that I could make distinct blocks. And say, hey, you know, this be, you know, an and condition, but these two be ors within that and. I don't think there is a way for me to do that, though, which is a shame. Because what I'd effectively want is 2 and blocks, one of them being these 3, and then the other one being all of the various qualities of fuel. I wonder how you make use of that then. Right now, these are all part of a... wonder, let me see if I can add in fuel any locomotive down here and make these part of a separate and block. I mean, technically... this just gives me 2 and blocks that need to be true. I guess you could do this. Let me add another fuel at any locomotive. Because this is now checking for all of the qualities of nuclear fuel that I can make. I suppose you could technically insert this. strictly speaking. I would need to make these blocks distinct. Oh, it's an ugly way of doing it. It is an ugly way of doing it. However, I believe this would work. This is effectively what I was thinking of doing, but for each individual type of fuel. So I could say, hey, if I've got less than, say, 50 of it, and it's fueled with coal. If it's got any coal in there, then it's currently consider it a coal train. And if it's got less than a full stack of coal, then it needs to go and refuel. And when it gets there, if the station is able to fill up with nuclear fuel, then the coal will be removed and it'll be replaced with nuclear fuel, and that would allow me then to switch things out. But the presence of quality complicates matters. If we had a quality any here, this would work, and this way you could set up a multi-fuel train. RC said, I think if you set it as a constant, it doesn't care. You think? Because right now I'm having to set this. I have to say it is a type of quality. Presently, that is a requirement in there, because I'm stating that right here. Whereas if I set this, it'll say, oh, just says coal. Is coal and coal uncommon? Are they individually considered? You know what? I could find this out. I wonder. But this is how you do it. You would set up these. So if either of these conditions is true, it'll go for a refuel. Let's yeah, normal quality coal is not the same as uncommon quality coal. But is the fact that it isn't saying coal normal an indicator that it's quality agnostic? Or is coal simply shorthand for normal quality coal? The normal is at the bottom. Oh, yeah, no, I can see there, but it's more when I hover over it. So if I do that, it still doesn't say anything here, if you see what I mean. If I look there, it doesn't say that this is normal quality coal, it just calls it coal. I think the missing part of the UI is that the formula should show the white... Yeah, it might just be shorthand because you don't have quality until later, so that makes sense, which is unfortunate. So effectively, you would need to make this block for every different type of fuel. Which sucks. For every quality of every type of fuel. What I kind of need is to be able to put a bunch of things in OR brackets within an AND bracket like that. Because right now I have to have all 4 conditions and then an OR. Whereas if I could just say, if the fuel in the train is regular quality nuclear or uncommon quality nuclear or high quality nuclear, and I'm not at these, then that would work. Or alternatively, just being able to put this as an any quality. How about just doing not fully fueled? Because not fully fueled would be true. Like if the train had 3 stacks of coal in it, not fully fueled, would be true if it had 2 full stacks of coal and 49 coal in the 3rd slot, and I frankly don't need it to refuel at that point. That's a wasted trip. It's burning more fuel to refuel that 1 piece of coal than it, you know. Do you see where I'm coming from? With the nuclear fuel, makes more sense. But once you get to nuclear fuel, what I would have loved to have here is a system where it doesn't matter what the train is fueled with, it'll know to go and refuel. When you convert and to or, can you not stack the conditions to achieve? What do you mean? Shin guards. I'm also afraid that the wildcard will not work as any wildcard here, but will simply get replaced by the first fuel to match. Oh, that's right. But that should be fine because the train switches to a uniform fuel. That's actually already been checked. And looping full. The reason why that isn't a problem is that when a train goes to the refuel station, the current fuel that the refuel station is delivering is filtered such that any fuel that isn't that fuel gets unloaded out of the trains when they park. So that the idea is that the reason for the multiple types of fuels in the refueling loop is so that a train, I wouldn't have to do anything to change the whole system. I would simply need to deliver a new type of fuel to this, and then the whole train system would kind of trickle down and update itself. That was the idea of it. So, like, if a train previously had, let's say, solid fuel blocks, but then I started delivering rocket fuel down here, eventually all of my trains would be completely switched over to rocket fuel. But yeah, it is a shame that this is not as robust as I would like it to be. But that just be the way it be. Perhaps then delivering quality fuel is not ideal for me here. Even though quality fuel is, you know, markedly better. You know, it's really cool to have it. Perhaps I should only, I should make a point of only delivering regular quality fuel here. Have I got any high quality fuel? I don't have any high quality fuel, so I may as well just switch the system over. The thing about the system though is that this does get better the higher the quality. It's not a massive change, granted, but it is a change. But it would have been really cool if I could have found a way to make that work with quality as like a agnostic toggle that it didn't really care. But the point about it being a wildcard does still clog up even with quality, because what if the last 2 slots are filled with higher quality fuel and the first slot is just regular nuclear fuel? It'll keep trying to come back here because it'll see regular nuclear fuel as the first fuel in its slot and be like, well, I've only got one of those. I need to go and refuel. Oh, then we definitely do have high quality fuel here somewhere. It's going around on the bus. And Looping Fool said, I had a train run out of fuel trying to go to an uncommon solid fuel station that did not exist and ignoring the normal one that did exist. Yeah. Yeah. It would be wonderful if you could set up trains to have that as a wild card, a true wild card. Say ignore the quality of the fuel. But it is what it is, and you know, it's working around these limitations is part of the fun in many ways. Now, because my refuel stations do not actually have this parameter in part of their name, that won't affect it. So I guess the only thing to do would be to set all of these up. I feel that, yeah, this is a case where the inequality would help Eynsford. Because I could say something like, right now, if the fuel on the train is less than 2 and any quality of nuclear fuel is there, it would just count the total sum of nuclear fuel and it would pass the test. Could you watch for different the best fuel is available and send a train to that location? Yeah, Ainsford is saying, I cut back on quality because of fuel issues. It seems a shame to do it because fuel clearly does have quality impact. You know, why cut out a whole section of the game, or a whole component of the game because of issues like this? It is an unfortunate thing. But what I could perhaps do, I won't be doing it here, but I'm going to discard those changes. But what I could perhaps do is it would require significantly more combinator logic to make it work. But perhaps that's the cost of doing business when you're dealing with you know, cool stuff like this. I would need to make these stations bigger. I believe that anything can be fixed with combinators, basically. And until I've experimented significantly and found that to not be the case, I continue to use it. I'll continue to do it this way. What I could do instead is have a system whereby it detects what the highest quality of fuel is, and I can easily do that by a process of elimination using combinators. You know, if the next tier is there, then only count that tier, and so on and so forth. And then check the availability of that particular fuel in the system. And if I have enough to refuel it, allow it to go through. Like, dispatch that quality down to be loaded. If I don't, then unload that quality and reload it with the lower quality. So we would only ever fill a train with the quality that's available. Like, the highest quality that it can fully fill a train with is the one it uses. But if it can't fully refuel the train with it, it downgrades the quality until it can. That would be a lot more of a pain in the bum, and is not what I'm going to do here. But that is an option. It is absolutely an option, and one that I would eventually like to set up. Yeah, we would be using the selector, the combinator, to achieve that. The selector combinator, by the way, as much as I am bemoaning the fact that we don't have the ability to just set any quality in the interrupt, the selector combinator, oh my lord, such an amazing thing. Honestly, we don't really, at this point, we don't need to burn off the fuel. I feel like that is a waste now. That was useful when there was a not insignificant chance that some of this fuel would end up being wood. Tank-chan, I need your building prowess. Let's take you down there. Off we go. Don't worry, we will get to Glebing in a moment. Wow, did I just make Gleba of it? I hate myself. And I'm sure some of you hate me too for that one. But know that your hate for me is nowhere near as complete and thorough as my hate for me. So I frankly don't care. Yours is inferior hate. And I have no time for such inferior quality emotions. Oh, we didn't even need to do it. Where's the nearest? Oh, you're just almost just in room. Tesco brand hate, yeah. No frills hate. No, not for me. If you're gonna hate me properly. Can't even do that. Wow. How good are you? Basically, if Sebastian wouldn't use that hate for Lord Phantom Hive, then you're not allowed to use that hate for me. It's frankly offensive that you would even try. That should be the litmus for people's behavior more, I think. Would Sebastian do this for Lord Phantom Hive? If the answer is no, then why are you trying to do it? Dream big, people. I think the Sebastian metric for behavior really does need to be adopted in more parts of the world. And in more modes of operation for humans in general, really. Regardless which part of the world you're in. I'm basically belting the trash up to the base so I can throw it into a active provider chest so it just gets shunted wherever it needs to be. Uh-oh, I'm reconnecting to chat. Have I still got internet, chat? Oh, crap. Oh, crap. Chat. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Oh, I'm good. Okay. Phew. Thank you very much, Trickstar. Twitch was twitching. My chat did that twice also. Okay, I'm glad to know it was just actual twitchiness and not some indication that my net is dropping. Because if another one of my routers breaks, I am actually going to be very, very, very sad. Right, I would like, please and thank you, an active provider chest right about here, and also a bulk inserter right about there as well. There we go. Right, I think that's all we need to do. Yes, all of the other fuels will get unloaded onto that line, belted up closer to the factory, where the bots can take over the work from there. And with that done, let's head on back. But yeah, I guess for now I can just set up an individual interrupt for every type of burnable fuel that will check all the various quality. Well, actually, no, I won't even check the qualities because right now that's not useful. There we go. There you go, Tank Shan. Enjoy. How is Novis doing? Novis is doing okay. We're probably still seeing plenty of attacks over here, and those biters are going to be getting stronger and stronger as a consequence because we're constantly killing them, which is provoking their ire, I should imagine. But for now, things do seem to be largely okay. What are the mines like? That mine has been emptied out. That mine's got a long while yet. What about you? I do not believe this iron mine has got very long at all. 194k. 5.5. So those are fine. We will eventually finish emptying them out. 2.7 million iron. 5.5 million copper, 3 million uranium, 2.9 million stone, coal, 3.2 million stone. Got a 114 yield oil well there, a 185% yield oil well over there. Obviously, I would very much like to get out here and collect these amazing oil wells, but those are a little bit far from our means just yet. But otherwise, Novis is doing okay. However, when you get back to Gleba, mind a quick TLDR recap on what you have set up there? Yes, of course. I'd be happy to do that. One other thing I'm not going to do it right now. So actually, you know what? I'm going to pin a couple of new things down here. One is update the refuel. So I want pump. I also need to make a to-do list for Gleba as well. Update refuel. Oh, actually, we've got an update refuel there. Update refuel interrupt. Let's just amend this and load different quality fuel. There we go, that works. And then we want one other. Actually, no, I've already got improved dispatch layout. That one should be. Realistically, I should put a pin in the side, but honestly, it's kind of a pain in the bum to update it like this. So, one station per train type. That way, I don't have the possibility of multiple large trains being given the same job in the same moment. Ooh. Oh, we're fine. Because presently it is possible the two trains might be given the same job. Right now that is somewhat less likely, but it isn't entirely outside the scope of possibility. So what I'm thinking is just having one station for the 2.8s, one station for the 2.4, one station for the 1.4. And that way the only one train could possibly be given a job, and then the next train has to come from the stacker. And in that time, the job board would have updated. Because the job board updates fairly quickly. In fact, it would probably already have updated before that train had left the station. It's just that in that one tick, two trains could get the job if there were multiple mines of the same type. Very unlikely edge case, but I want to program the system to be robust against it. Anyway, let's go back to Gleba. Right, so Belial wanted a bit of a tip. It only took me one stream to notice there was stone up here all along. Fine, whatever. This is what happens when you the difference between tired eyes looking at something and fresh eyes looking at something. But this is our landing site where we podded down. Currently got power going up. We've got a very, very basic mall. Just some ammo and belts, realistically. Two types of ammo, just to make sure I've got provided. This is the farm that we've got set up presently. Honestly, I don't think I need two of these, so I'm thinking I'm going to pull one of these up instead and use that to get jelly nuts from somewhere. There is this place, which might not be a bad place to go to, actually. But there's also this one. There's quite a lot of jelly nuts down there already. This one as well. That one is close to a lot of nests. This one is close to very few. I'm somewhat tempted, actually, by this one. Maybe. Yeah, you can search for it up here. That's right. I need to get in the habit of doing this. The same with RimWorld. Oh, God, there's quite a lot, actually. Oh, there's loads of stone all over the place. Okay. Oh, there we go. Now we know. I will get in the habit of using that in time. But presently we've got our farm over here. This pops Yumiko fruit onto this belt. Which goes all the way down here. And it only loads it when it's needed. Currently. Honestly, this whole design needs a big update. We are mostly getting by with steam power by burning Yumiko fruit. But we can do better than that. There are lots of other things that we can do, but effectively what we have going on is Yumiko fruit is deposited in here, and we process that into Yumiko mash, and occasionally some Yumiko seeds. We're more or less breaking even. Oh, actually, no, we are overproducing. In fact, we are producing more Yumiko seeds than we need. That is great, because I don't think those spoil. So this place can produce Yumiko for a long time without issue. This will only activate if the current contents of this chest, and this belt is below 10 Yumiko available. These effectively just unload the most spoiled Yumiko first, but I probably shouldn't do that. But effectively, we never really have spoilage over here. The Yumiko is loaded on this belt and isn't plucked until needed. Then sent down here. From here, gets loaded into this area. At this point, this will only be active if the nutrients in here are less than... let me have a look. If there's no nutrients available in this. But I wonder, how is that reading it? It can't see the nutrients. Interesting. Should be reading contents. Oh no, there we are. So the green wire shows nothing, but the red wire... Oh, the red wire is seeing the nutrients down there. Interesting. This is currently set up incorrectly. But the idea here is that this will only load things in there as needed. This will only process it as needed. This is my nutrients line, which this is reading, and it only turns on if the nutrients on that line drop below 10. It will load nutrients into itself to use to process the Yumiko. Over here, we have a similar thing. This will only load nutrients if the available Yumiko in here is less than 10, but I clearly misunderstood the way that this was going to output information. Oh, actually, no, it is correct. So this is loading the Yumiko now. And once the Yumiko mash is above 10, this stops trying to unload. So it makes sure that there's only ever a certain amount of Yumiko mash available, because that spoils very quickly. This one should be loading the Yumiko mash over here. Oh, wait, no, that is how it's working. Right, okay. So there's no nutrients in stockpile. This will only load stuff in there if there are nutrients. If there is no nutrients in the stockpile, but this whole thing has been turned off presently. So as a consequence, nothing is going on in there. Okay, so that's kind of surplus demand. I do need to wire that up a little bit differently. But that unloads the nutrients here, and then it reloads it immediately. So this always kind of gets priority on nutrients, but we're about to lose an entire lot of nutrients out of this. They're about to spoil. And the second they spoil, you'll notice they will get grabbed by this. Yep, there we go. Spoiled. So this is trying to load again. And the spoilage travels down, gets loaded in here as quickly as this can make nutrients. This one will unload nutrients constantly. It exists to get rid of spoilage and load nutrients onto this belt. So there's always nutrients available to run these. Pretty much always. They all get rid of their spoilage if they don't need it. This one will only activate if there's a certain stockpile of Yumiko mash. So there's always some Yumiko mash to be loaded in here to make nutrients if needed. This isn't a very good way of setting it up. Looking at this with fresh eyes, I'm seeing a lot of inefficiencies that I can improve. But effectively, this one over here uses Yumiko mash in order to make copper bacteria, which then, and also spoilage, unloads the spoilage up here, and the copper bacteria into there. Copper bacteria gradually turns into copper ore. Copper ore gets turned into plate. And any spoilage goes through this system. And because spoilage doesn't spoil any further, it just backs up. This also grabs nutrients, turns spoilage into carbon. You get more energy out of the carbon than you do out of the spoilage, and it just loads the carbon in here. That is then available for making more copper plate. But if this fills up, then it sends the spoilage down here to be turned into nutrients. But yeah, we're going to have to rebuild all of this. This is grossly inefficient. Grossly. I'm also getting things dropped down from station above. So I'm not actually worrying about iron right now because Pridwen is currently in position above us. But I'm going to say, Pridwen, I would like you to pick some things up for me. I'm going to make a request for modules. T1 modules. I would like you to bring a stack of T1 speed. Stack of T1 efficiency. Stack of T1 production. Productivity rather, and the stack of T1 quality modules. Sadly, I can't tell you to give me a certain quality of them, but that's okay. You just give me what you can. And currently, Pridwen is taking care of all of this. Can I quickly show my space station? Do you mean my spaceship or my space station? Gorseth is my science space station over yonder and is broken. Why? Okay. I really do need to completely rebuild Gorseth. I've learned so much about space station management since building it. I almost need to just tear it all down to nothing and then just rebuild. In fact, that's exactly what I need to do. But presently it is jam-packed full of ice for reasons I cannot presently explain. What are you outputting? You're asking for more... No, you're currently asking for more carbon. You know what? Excuse me. I should hook these up as well to the green signal. That way, both of these will dump stuff if needed. I mean, it's kind of wasteful, but it would avoid deadlocks, so... Right. Oh. Set filter should not be that. No. Okay, so use filter should be... These should be... Oh, right. Okay, I see what it was. It wasn't being... It shouldn't have been programmatically set at all. Set filter shouldn't have been part of that equation. Don't set the filter. I just want to read hand contents on hold. But the filters should be the refined forms of this. So ice, carbon, or iron. They should never unload this. Or alternatively, I could just set those. It really doesn't matter. Just whitelist is fine. Pop those down. There we go. Because blacklist was being set by these. So let's pull that down. There we go. So now this is showing a hold. So this should be counting up. And as soon as this gets to 3,600, these inserters will activate and will dump contents off this line. It's a very crude way of unclogging the system, but it's an automated way of unclogging it. And I will eventually rebuild this station to be much more efficient. But right now, I know it's a hot fix, but it is a hot fix that will fix. So we're just going to make sure that that happens. 2.6k. Oh, I can see it there. I was supposed to leave me. But yeah, it needs to be clogged for a while before it'll try to do this. There we go. So these are going to empty off these arms for a bit. In fact, I'm kind of thinking that I wouldn't mind doing that again here. These can both be part of that same circuit, so I can dump quite a lot of stuff off there and really clear up the bench. But there we go. Not sure why ice got up to such insane levels on there, but, you know, it is what it is. There we go. Gorseth Wen is active again. Basically, Gorseth Wen will send white science down as needed. Currently, you know, we've got a massive backlog because it just isn't needed. And otherwise, we'll send iron and carbon as it builds up. And if these aren't able to drop their contents onto the belt, the clock starts counting. And will only stop counting once all of them are able to discard. Which will eventually happen, but if it doesn't, then it means that it's still way too clogged, and I need to very aggressively empty out the belts. So we'll just make sure that it does fully unclog this time. Again, we've got a lot of ability to unclog the inner belt, so that shouldn't be a problem. The outer belt is a lot less jam-packed. There we go. Honestly, I could even set these up to use a filter. Because this is currently only dumping the C count. If I could squeeze in another selector, perhaps over here, like so. Hook this up to sort descending, so the most populous item will be on this belt. Is that connected to the red net? It's connected to the green network, so let's hook that up. This should... oh. Let's disconnect that then. What I need is... This is filtering that output. So I need... whatever you're taking. The green and the red here as well. So green. This is now a spider's nest of wiring. I appreciate that. And it does make me sad. But... this is now correctly outputting the thing that I've got the most of. And so, whilst this one shouldn't set its filters, these ones absolutely should. And so set filter. There. From now on, when this triggers, it'll only dump the stuff that I've got the most of on the belt. And that, to me, seems like progress. I would like for that reason to do this. I want to aggressively empty these belts. So, copy. There we go. Copy. There we are. This will now be able to very aggressively empty this belt out. Right, there we go. Now let me read back in chat. Quickly suppose. Place it. Thanks. Mine is overkill. I didn't yet want to another planet. My space station is a mothership now. Oh right, you've actually got a station and an active spaceship. I wanted to, just to make sure that I wasn't that I didn't lose everything, and also because I figured that I don't need white science being produced in transit to another world. So this is my spaceship. Let me turn on alt mode so you can see what's going on. It's more or less mirrored, except for the section down here is a little less so. But effectively, everything runs through the hub on this one. So a lot of my production stuff uses the central hub. In a nutshell, I've got turrets all the way around. Wherever I can. Wherever I can squeeze one in. So I've got basically turret coverage of every single external surface of the ship. I've walled up where I can, just for a little bit of extra protection. I've got collectors on the front and the very rear. A bit of solar. These are higher tier solar panels, and they're giving me a little bit of extra oomph with power, but I've got some accumulators dotted around where I could find space for them. Not too many, though. This is production of water. So ice is popped in here. I've got a storage tank for ice. Iron ore is fed down here. Carbon is fed down here. This is my fuel. This is my oxidizer. I've got tanks for both. They use the pass-through of the thrusters to allow them to be able to connect all three of these thrusters together. I hope to redesign this later such that I can cut fuel to the outside thrusters and just keep the middle one always connected up. Right now, that's the only one that guarantees has fuel directly from the chem plants. These ones have to use the pass-through, so if I turn these off, this one will still fire. And the idea of that is that I would like to set up a sensor so that whilst the Peridwen is in transit, if it starts taking any damage at all, it's a sign that for some reason I can't keep up with the incoming asteroids, so slow down. That will give my guns longer to attack the asteroids and take them out before they hit the Peridwen. So the idea is I'll cut 2/3 of thrust in the event that I'm taking damage, because getting there slower is better than not getting there. This is otherwise my iron plate fabrication. The ore is loaded in here. It gets processed into iron plates, loaded back in. The iron plates are loaded into my ammo factories, and these then supply all of the ammo down to the central central hub, which then provides the ammo out here, which gets split off to all of the turrets. All turrets receive ammo from the center, which also is set to stockpile up to 1,000. So effectively, production is tightly managed. I don't collect an asteroid unless I need it. I don't convert it into its goods unless I need it. So I try to keep a stockpile. So I've got 3 oxide asteroids, 3 carbon asteroids, 3 metallic asteroids. I do have some asteroids on this belt, but it won't load them in there unless there's a need. It won't... each one of these does a different type of processing, but unless I need iron ore, I don't process a metallic asteroid. Unless I need ice, I don't process an oxide asteroid. And so the system is largely idle unless I've spent something, and then it kicks into life. Likewise, I'll produce ammo pretty much for as long as I can, but I'll only load it in here up to a limit of 1,000. Once I've got 1,000, it stops being loaded into the hub. It'll unload it as often as it can. All of my turrets are always full up when they've got a belt of ammo to continue feeding them where I can afford to put it, but quite a lot of them are kind of fed through each other. So it does take a little bit of time to move the ammo around, which is a bit of a problem, but it is what it is. Like these three, it all comes from this one place to run all three of them. Whereas these two are all fed from these ones, for example. But that is pretty much it. The Pridwen is mostly a transport craft, so it's kind of prioritized for that goal. Kadra said, I put a nuclear reactor and uranium processing facility on my space station for energy. Oh, that's a good idea. That's actually a really cool idea. And yeah, there seems to be some confusion about walls. Now, I don't know with any great certainty, but chat has gone through phases of both saying, yeah, walls don't help, and no, walls absolutely do help. And from what I understand, the most recent advice that I've been given is that the platform itself can't be destroyed until the thing on top of it has been destroyed. So adding a wall absolutely will absorb some of the impact and the health of the asteroid. The wall will then get destroyed, and then the asteroid will destroy the platform underneath, but it will have eroded some of the asteroid's impact energy. So absolutely worth doing, because as Kaja mentions, it is a lot cheaper to replace a wall than it is to replace a turret full of ammo. Walls, Schrodinger's helpfulness, yeah. But that is the current understanding, is that to destroy the space platform underneath, you have to have destroyed the things on top. So a high health thing like a wall does a good job of absorbing some of that impact. Oh yeah, the cargo bays will not interact with inserters, only the hub interacts. So for example, if I want to increase Pridwen's storage, I'm not going to add cargo bays on this, because literally every tiny little bit of this bay, except for these, has been used up. I almost have no more space for inserters, but if I was going to add them, cargo bays, they would be added here on the side. I would find some way. I'd probably just do without this turret. There's nothing it's covering that the other turrets aren't covering, so I could get away with it and get rid of one solar panel, and that would allow me to add cargo bays. I would only, like, realistically, if I could have gone away with it, I would build all my cargo bays off a single cargo bay, like one down here and then just build downwards. But yeah, walls look cool too. It's probably like walls versus tanks. Walls helping stop a tank or not helping stop a tank depends on how fast the driver you asked was going. Well, yeah, I guess. I'm not sure if the asteroids have impact damage based on speed, but they certainly approach faster based on speed. I mean, that seems obvious, but what I mean by that is it takes less time for them to cover the distance of where they spawn and where they hit me if I'm moving at speed, which is the whole idea of taking this down. Because there's a finite and exact amount of time that it takes my current turret setup to destroy an asteroid. And if the asteroids are approaching me too fast for that time to be enough, all I need to do is change how fast I'm moving, which is why I want a throttle control. If I have taken damage, it's an indication that I'm moving too fast, slow down. And at that point, hopefully my turrets will then be able to keep up with the incoming asteroids. Sander says, walls were extremely and disgustingly effective during the LAN and beta, and were since then nerfed a lot. Now they have a use case, but are far from the best option. I see. I have 7 cargo bays off the back with 3 down the middle, then 2 on each side of those with 2x gap between the belting and the... Yeah, no, absolutely. If I wanted to turn the Pridwen into a hauler, I would have some sort of central spine of cargo bays. I can see damage 3 ham kablam. I simply cannot turn a thruster off directly. The only way to turn a thruster off is to starve it of fuel, and I didn't build this with enough room for that in the design. I could expand it out, move the collector out a little bit, move that tank up, put a pump down here, and turn the pumps off. That's how I would do it. Oh. Oh god. Oh god. Ah! Ah! That's the second time I've had that. Oh. Are you it? I'm not sure you count. Really not sure you count. It said group. I think maybe I had that one because the first time I saw nothing approach. I don't know if it's a bit glitchy, but... A group of 1, yeah. I mean, to be fair, 1 is a complete set. There's nothing that invalidates the set of 1. As funny as it is complete. Alright, but I might want to go and clear that nest. I don't know. However, all of that aside, yeah, that's the current situation with the Pridwen. I kind of want the Pridwen to bring me these modules, but first I want to check that Novis is actually making them. I think Novis might only be making 2 of them. Yeah, these 2. Are the other modules any different? What's involved in the other modules? Same. Same. There is no reason why I'm not making them then. Okay. I'm going to quickly rejig this. You are henceforth going to be making me efficiency modules. You are henceforth going to be making me speed modules. Right. Now I'm going to want 2 chests. Provide a chest for each one. Well, do I really need to? Not really, but... we're going to pop you there. You're going to use filters. It will be normal only. I'm simply going to limit this to 2 stacks. And you're going to be use filters anything above normal. And you're simply not limited. I'm happy for you to make as many of those as you can. Oh, it's because... Wait, what? Oh, yeah, no, that makes sense. Okay, please get these out of there. There we go. Alright, Pridwen will now be able to get 1 group of each. 1 stack of each. So let's head back to the Pridwen. From now on, Pridwen, I would like you to collect this for me on your trips. I am currently going to remove the need for a passenger to be present. And I am going to tell the circuit that you're good to go. Where is it? Here we are. Prid run is off. I could also make the circuit only travel if Pridwen has a cargo of over 1,000. I'm gonna add that, yeah. Item count, cargo, ammo. It's greater than one. Oh, actually, equal to or greater than 1,000. That way it will only travel if it has had time to build up its cargo of ammo. There we go. Good run seems to be doing well. This way, if there is for any reason ever a jam, Pridwen will simply stop trying to travel around. Hey, Crackalackin! How you doing, mate? Could you please add a point at the front? At front, I know there's no aerodynamics in space, but it could look cool. And maybe get another accumulator. I mean, I could. There's no reason why I couldn't. Sure, if you'd really like me to. I don't mind doing that for you. Right, what quality of accumulators do I have? Yeah, I've got a few more. There you go. So there we are. We're restocking our cargo. We are hopefully going to be satisfying our requests. We've got quite a few of them, mind you. So it's going to take a little while. But Pridwen will be around here for a bit. And whilst Pridwen is here, Pridwen is going to constantly be helping out with Gorsethwen, sending down supplies to the station down here. So we'll accept more and more carbon, iron plate, so on and so forth. Not that we really need much of it, it seems. We're doing quite well with that, actually. The station is largely idle at the moment. There's little bits and bobs going... What? Stop tormenting your siblings, Tank-chan. That is rude AF. You don't get to do your merry-go-round anymore. You have lost carousel privileges. No. This is all on you. No use crying about it now. Uh-huh. Oh, no. I didn't mean to do that. Balls. No, bring it back, please. Oh, well. It's gone now. What I would like to do is pop those around in some places, though. All of those have already got it. That's got it. These have got it. Thrusters do not. So, how about... There. Please pop those into the system. Also, I can totally see on this circuit... Oh, wait, no, I can't, actually. I would have to look in each of these for that. What I could do is use this nowhere, but I can have a quick gander. Actually, I don't even need to hook it up to a wire. This I love. So I can have an at-a-glance spy on what I've got in these chests. Yeah, I've got some really nice radars actually. Could I perhaps relocate those? Actually, these would be better suited up here, and delivering them up there is kind of a pain. What I could do is have... Yeah, because radars do have an effect. Continuous coverage, exploration coverage distance. They are quite nice. I'll have Tank Chan request them. And then I'll have them head out and deposit the new ones whenever they can. Yeah. Oh, that's kind of annoying. All right, fine. And also the uncommon ones as well. Don't have a lot of room back in here. So let's get rid of some of these. Picked up an awful lot of gubbins around the place. Should be good enough. But yeah, eventually the radars will be brought over. Oh, actually, no, they won't. Okay. All right, so I'm going to have these set up for buffer chest recipes. Sorry, the buffer chests. Even though that's going to confuse the hell out of this, the buffer chests won't supply this, but they will supply logistics requests and construction requests. But this will still see them as part of the network and still will be reporting that, hey, look at all of this stuff that you can go collect. It's just the bots won't collect it. Which is okay, I suppose. It's fine for now. All right. Wasn't it possible to request uncommon or higher? Yeah, down here. But you selected a filter that matches more than one quality. In this case, you can only select trash filter, but requests can't be used for this ambiguity. You can only request an exact quality type, which is frustrating, but it is what it is. Let's have a look at Pridwen. How are your requests coming along? Doing the last one for the space repairs, so that's for the actual station itself. Oh, and output supplies, sorry. That's also coming up. Next one will be one of these, no doubt, and then we'll move on to the modules. We're running low on room, though, but oh well, it is what it is. Right, back over to Gleba at long last. I am growing increasingly worried about the stuff that's going to happen over here. Do I have bots with me? I do. Oh, that's happiest of days. Let me go and top up my ammo. Good enough. And let's head out and do some building in Gleba. Woohoo! Do I have radars? I do. Okay, so first and foremost, this all needs to change. Like, it desperately needs to change. But to that end, there is one thing I'm going to want. And that is, if there's no... See, the problem is this could theoretically just get messed up. Yeah, we're going to need to hook this up in a different way. But the main part of this should be a loop going back around there, I think. Have I got no more of them? Oh my lord, I got no more of them. How distressing. Also, how did I end up with a single... Ugh. That makes me sad. Have I got only one? Oh, I see. Yes. I think what I need here is for this to branch back around, which means I need another one of those, which means I need a bunch of iron gears. So let me go and grab those. But my objective here, maybe before the next tea break or after the next tea break, I'll spend a little bit of time, because we spent so much time catching up and rejigging the factory. I'll spend a little bit of time sorting out a to-do list for Gleba, just so I can keep kind of on track with stuff. Ugh. That is distressing. Took an entire belt's worth of iron. Okay, I need this to stockpile more. Also, am I requesting... I'm also going to request 100 belts, a stack of these, and a stack of these from Prydwen next time she's in orbit. To do, redesign everything. Yes, that is correct. That is an accurate assessment of the situation. Right, so this will now be able to work. Like, this is going to be able to filter things out properly from now on. If I drag this back just a little bit more, I can use a splitter to lane balance this. Which I think would be wise. Now, quickly, disable these. That'll mean these will never activate. Which is what I want right now. What I'd like here is this connected. Read belt contents, hold all belts, and it'll just be this section. So right now, this can see a decent amount of fruit. Now I'm going to go and hook up a radar over here, so I don't have to worry about reading this belt in any way. So this way it protects us from this belt being broken somehow. This should, from now on, have priority. Eventually, what we're going to want to do is have trains taking care of this. Get rid of this. You're going completely. It really doesn't matter how we empty this one. Oh, we're actually full up on seeds. Nice. Okay. It wouldn't be a bad idea to just stockpile the seeds, if I'm honest. Good enough for me. We want radar probably down, well, anywhere I can fit over here, which is, fortunately, there's water everywhere. Pop it there. That can reach. I don't care about that. I only want to read how many there are on the belt. If we look over here, there's barely any. So that is a very good signal to say, hey, there's less than let's say less than 50. Activate. Honestly, I could just load this directly in there. There might be a better way of doing it, frankly. The only advantage this has is that if this were to pick something up like wood, but I don't think that ever is the case. Could be wrong. No, I think we may as well just have this unload like so. That clears up a little bit more room, in fact. In fact, the less I have to ruin this area. Do I have enough to make some landfill? I do not. Alright. Well. What I'm going to do here is a little bit of something. Because that frees up that little spot there. Pains me to be doing this on this tile, but it'll just have to do. Because that is a growing tile. Also, this power pole there is on a growing tile. My cannons are on a growing tile. It makes me sad. But I have freed up a couple of tiles now for odds and sods to be placed. Maybe I could just move my cannons over here instead. I could put the cannons up over on this side. Might be better. So basically where I'm stood. Move them up one more. Well, eventually, I'm almost guaranteed to want to be expanding up here. And I have not done any degree of real selection of the best spot to put trees up here. There is probably a tile that has more arable land around it than this one does. But this is a functional system, and until I've got something that cares about the efficiency of it, like, we need a much better system overall for that to matter to me just yet. Oh, can I? Oh, thank goodness. Yes. Let's get 2 of these. But once we have that, then I'll start caring a bit more. But presently, that is very much not a concern. Can I find a single place? I can. Right there. That'll do. Alright, there we go. You know what? You can have some better ammo. Some much better ammo. Alright. So for the time being, there's a lot of Yumiko fruit over there. This is a bit of a problem, though. I'm not going to lie. That is actually genuinely a little bit of a problem. Counting how much is on this belt would in a way prevent it, but The Yumiko fruit lasts for hours at a time, so I'm not as concerned. How is my power going? It's doing for the most part okay. Can I make drones on this planet too? Yeah, I've got drones on the planet, yeah. That's absolutely a possibility. How well is the charge holding here? Accumulated charge is dropping. I think we should be fine. We should be fine. Yeah. Okay, so the way I'm looking at this is we kind of want to limit how much we pull out of this system. But until we get the jelly nuts up and running, there's a lot that we don't understand about how this is going to work. So I think it's time for me to set up jelly nut processing in the same way. If we have a look at the way all of this functions, is I'm going to want jelly nuts to be able to make this. Take 7.5 Yumako fruit. Oh, sorry, it's 15 Yumako mash and 12 jelly. So 7.5 Yumako fruit and 3 jelly nuts makes this. That produces wildly more nutrients. I can't turn jelly nuts into nutrients directly. It doesn't look like jelly gets turned into nutrients, which is a shame. You can get it from spoilage, but it's already somewhat downgraded at that point. You can get it from Yumako mash. You can get it from bioflux. So this is a way of me turning jelly nuts into nutrients, and it does it at a very good exchange. Very good exchange. We are going to need a lot of nutrients and pentapod eggs and water to make more pentapod eggs, which may be something we're going to need to do. Certainly that would help us making more items. I really want to get a heating tower, but that's going to require concrete. But we can do that. But then I'm going to need to make the heating pipes, which requires steel. I'm going to need to make the heat exchanger. I'm going to need to make the steam turbine. But this would be a much better power system than what we've currently got. Like a wildly better power system. Also, generates heat from the chemical fuels. Passes heat to connected heat pipes. Heated areas prevent structures from freezing. Cannot be frozen. Does not stop burning when it's at maximum temperature. Now, I feel that that last sentence is an important one to pay attention to. Boilers will stop burning. Like a regular boiler stops burning once it is at temperature. But this just keeps going. So, for some of the more dangerous things, specifically I'm looking at you, pentapod eggs, which when they spoil turn into enemies, I want a backup system that'll get rid of them if I have no other use, for whatever reason. And I think that's going to be it. Now, I'm going to want a miner. I'm going to want some electronic circuits for that. There we go. We really do need to get iron production up on this planet. That's what the jelly nuts are going to really help us with.